Welcome to The Thoughts Refinery, where we dissect the intricacies of our society and learn to think about how we think. In this video we examine coercive persuasion, shedding light on its methodologies, ramifications, and avenues for resistance. From cults to corporations to governance, the evolution of coercive persuasion techniques and its multifaceted impact on society. Coercive persuasion encompasses a sophisticated arsenal of psychological manipulation tactics, finely tuned to exploit vulnerabilities and override critical thinking faculties. Gaslighting, a cornerstone technique, systematically distorts individuals' perceptions of reality, destabilizing their sense of truth and self. Love bombing inundates targets with excessive praise and affection, engendering a sense of indebtedness and loyalty. In conjunction with fear-mongering, capitalizes on primal fears, instilling a sense of impending doom to coerce compliance and obedience. These techniques are not mere aberrations but intricately intertwined strategies, often employed in concert to exert maximal influence over individuals and communities. Cult leaders skillfully blend love bombing and fear-mongering to create a sense of belonging while instilling paranoia about the outside world. Similarly, political demagogues masterfully employ gaslighting tactics to manipulate public opinion and maintain authoritarian control. Expert 1. The social repercussions of coercive persuasion are profound, corroding trust within communities and fracturing social cohesion. Expert 2. Political, coercive persuasion serves as a potent tool for undermining democratic principles, stifling dissent, and consolidating power. Expert 3. On an emotional plane, individuals subjected to coercive persuasion may suffer a panoply of psychological afflictions, including anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. To counteract the insidious tendrils of coercive persuasion, individuals must cultivate an arsenal of cognitive defenses, ranging from critical thinking prowess to media literacy skills. By interrogating information sources, scrutinizing narratives, and fostering a diversity of viewpoints, individuals can fortify themselves against manipulation. Furthermore, the cultivation of robust social support networks and the promotion of open dialogue within communities are essential bulwarks against the isolating effects of coercive persuasion. In the depths of the crucible of coercion, empowerment and liberation beckon. Armed with knowledge and solidarity, individuals can dismantle the mechanisms of manipulation and forge a future anchored in the unassailable pillars of freedom of thought and expression. Join us on our epistemological expedition towards enlightenment and liberation. Coercive persuasion, also known as brainwashing, is a systematic process of manipulating individuals' beliefs, emotions, and behaviors to conform to a predetermined ideology or agenda. It operates through a combination of psychological, emotional, and social tactics aimed at undermining autonomy and fostering dependence on the persuader. Key elements and techniques of coercive persuasion include isolation. Targets are often separated from external influences, such as friends, family, or conflicting information, to weaken their support networks and enhance susceptibility to persuasion. Control of information. Coercive persuaders tightly control the information available to targets, selectively presenting facts and narratives that align with their agenda while suppressing dissenting viewpoints or critical analysis. Manipulation of reality. Gaslighting techniques are employed to distort individuals' perceptions of reality, causing them to doubt their own memories, perceptions, and judgments. This stimulates a sense of confusion and dependency on the persuader for validation and guidance. Love bombing's targets may be inundated with excessive praise, affection, and attention to create a sense of indebtedness and loyalty to the persuader. This emotional manipulation serves to establish a deep psychological bond and encourage compliance. Fear-mongering empowers coercive persuaders to exploit primal fears and insecurities to instill a sense of impending danger or doom. This fear-based manipulation coerces targets into compliance or submission out of a desire to mitigate perceived threats. Induced dependency. Targets are conditioned to rely on the persuader for guidance, validation, and emotional support, fostering a sense of helplessness and dependency on the persuader's authority. Behavioral modification. Coercive persuasion techniques often involve the reinforcement of desired behaviors through rewards, such as praise or privileges, and the punishment or ostracism of dissenting behaviors to enforce compliance. Disorientation and exhaustion. Targets may be subjected to prolonged periods of psychological pressure, sleep deprivation, and cognitive dissonance to induce a state of mental fatigue and vulnerability, making them more receptive to persuasion. These techniques are often employed in a systematic and incremental manner, gradually eroding resistance and fostering dependency on the persuader's ideology or authority. Coercive persuasion can have profound and enduring effects on individuals' beliefs, emotions, and behaviors, leading to the erosion of critical thinking skills, psychological distress, and social isolation. Recognizing the signs and tactics of coercive persuasion is crucial for safeguarding against manipulation and preserving autonomy and agency. Cults, corporations, and governments all employ coercive persuasion techniques to achieve their respective goals and objectives, albeit in different contexts and with varying degrees of intensity. Here's how each such dimension utilizes coercive persuasion strategies towards navigating the social, political, and emotional fallout. Cults and coercive persuasion techniques. Isolation. Cults often isolate members from family, friends, and outside influences, creating a dependency on the cult for social connection and support. Control of information. Cult leaders tightly control information, restricting access to external sources and promoting only the group's teachings and beliefs. Manipulation of reality. Gaslighting techniques are employed to distort members' perceptions of reality, causing them to doubt their own experiences and rely on the cult for guidance. Love bombing. New recruits are showered with affection, attention, and praise to foster a sense of belonging and loyalty to the group. Fear-mongering. Cults use fear tactics to instill a sense of impending doom or punishment for disobedience, coercing members into compliance. Behavioral modification. Cults enforce strict rules and norms, rewarding compliance with praise and privileges, and punishing dissent with ostracism or punishment. Cults: how to navigate their fallout. Education and awareness. Providing education about cult tactics and warning signs can empower individuals to recognize and resist coercive persuasion. Support networks. Building strong support networks outside of the cult can help individuals maintain connections and perspectives beyond the group's influence. Counseling and therapy. Offering counseling and therapy services can help individuals recover from the psychological trauma inflicted by cult manipulation. Legal protections. Enforcing legal protections against coercive cult practices, such as laws against psychological manipulation and exploitation, can help prevent abuse and protect vulnerable individuals. Corporations and coercive persuasion techniques. Marketing and advertising. Corporations employ sophisticated marketing and advertising techniques to manipulate consumer desires and perceptions, often through emotional appeals and persuasive messaging. Control of information. Corporations may control information through advertising, public relations, and media partnerships, shaping public opinion and controlling the narrative around their products and services. Reward systems. Loyalty programs, discounts, and incentives are used to reward consumer behavior and encourage repeat purchases. Data mining and personalization. Corporations collect and analyze consumer data to personalize marketing messages and product recommendations, increasing their effectiveness. Way to navigate the corporate fallout. Media literacy. Educating consumers about marketing tactics and advertising strategies can help individuals recognize and resist manipulative messaging. Regulatory oversight. Enforcing regulations and policies to protect consumers from deceptive advertising practices and ensure transparency in marketing communications. Ethical consumption. Encouraging ethical consumption practices, such as supporting transparent and socially responsible brands, can promote awareness and accountability in the corporate sector. Consumer advocacy. Supporting consumer advocacy groups and initiatives can empower individuals to challenge corporate influence and hold companies accountable for their actions. Critical thinking skills. Developing critical thinking skills can help individuals evaluate marketing claims and make informed decisions about their purchases and consumption habits. Governments. Coercive persuasion techniques. Propaganda. Governments utilize propaganda to shape public opinion, disseminating biased or misleading information to manipulate perceptions and influence behavior. Censorship. Governments may censor or control the flow of information through media restrictions, internet censorship, or suppression of dissenting voices to maintain control over the narrative. Surveillance. Surveillance tactics, such as monitoring communications and tracking online activity, are used to monitor and control dissenting voices and suppress opposition. Fear tactics. Governments may employ fear tactics, such as threat exaggeration or demonization of political opponents, to coerce compliance and silence dissent. Disinformation campaigns. Governments may spread false or misleading information to discredit political opponents, sow division, or manipulate public opinion. Authoritarian control. Authoritarian governments exert control through intimidation, coercion, and repression, enforcing obedience through threats of punishment or violence. How to navigate the governmental fallout. Media freedom. Protecting and promoting media freedom is crucial for preserving transparency, accountability, and informed public discourse. Digital privacy rights. Advocating for digital privacy rights and safeguards against government surveillance can help protect individuals' freedoms and prevent abuse of power. Whistleblower protection. Enforcing laws and policies to protect whistleblowers who expose government misconduct or corruption can promote transparency and accountability. Civil liberties advocacy. Supporting civil liberties advocacy organizations and initiatives can empower individuals to defend their rights and freedoms against government overreach. Political activism. Engaging in political activism and advocacy efforts can help hold governments accountable for their actions and promote democratic values and principles. International pressure. Mobilizing international pressure and diplomatic efforts to condemn human rights abuses and authoritarian practices can help pressure governments to respect human rights and uphold democratic norms. At The Thoughts Refinery, subscribe, like, share for more valuable thought-refining content.